Oh, here we are. Now this one's going to be kind of a quick one too. What we got here is like a heater rail car. It heats the tracks. It goes down for whatever work they need to do on it. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about it. It was kind of a last minute thing. I was pre-warned about it though on like a Friday, but they were not sure, mostly because of the propane tank. Propane tank was full. Well, that changed its classification. Shipper didn't have anybody there that was hazmat certified to write the bill of lading and do all the proper work, so they needed to get it purged, so it changed the classification, to residual. There's a lot of rules and stuff. So now you can see there's a lot of lines, hoses, all kinds of stuff, and so we just had to, tie it down low, and I'll show you that here in a minute. This is kind of a whoopee configuration, but this heavy-duty welded plate was the only place. When I was looking at this, I was looking how thin this was, plus getting the hook portion through it, either hooking this way or even behind it. I was afraid that was too thin, and that's way too much pressure to put on that thing. So I thought, I'm not going to get the kind of pull that I want. Plus, I could take a chance on breaking it or bending it and losing the piece. It only weighs 13,000 pounds. So I wasn't worried too much about weight control. It's just if something gives way, it's not sturdy enough to hold the hook, then you're going to have a problem. So I went around this heavy-duty, it's a 1/4-inch plate. It's in pretty good shape, so I went right around it, single chain, 2 binders, same front and rear. So you guys have asked me that stuff before, and I went to the chain pocket, and I kind of, everything is in here. That's just loose, so it's really not going to hurt anything because they're over and they're not really touching, nothing rubbing. It's good. This one had some kind of hydraulic oil leak. So I was looking up here, I see some of the hoses. Well, that's on them. That's not on me. But I'm definitely going to make the customer aware of it. It's like, look at all the oil everywhere. You should probably buy another 5-gallon thing of hydraulic oil if you're going to run this thing very long. Or contact the shipper, because I don't know if they were just getting it ready to go or whatever. Now, second point, having wood on the deck, steel wheels on aluminum. Not going to happen because it will damage the trailer. So as you can see, they had only 3 of them that were dished out, and I'll show you that on the other side here in a minute. But the wheel is not touching. Even with a standard 2x4, it is not touching. And here is one of those configurations, and like I said, they could only find 3. Go figure why they didn't have the 4th one. I don't know. We'll figure it out, Here it was good to go. This is just rock solid. It was kind of a weird configuration because it was a little short here. So going from here and pulling up a chain pocket, I would not have had enough threads. So what I did was I went to this chain and grabbed it. And it's just, it's rock solid. It's not going anywhere. Everything is inside. It wasn't that wide. It was like 7 foot. It's no problem. Everything was secure here. I made sure all this stuff was good to go, and we checked everything to make sure, there's not any loose problems. Okay, they had to have a big semi-tractor wrecker come put this on there. That's why it took me so long to get loaded, but they did a single lift eye right there. It weighs 13,000, I think I was saying. So it gives you pretty much, there's your dimensions. Height of 9 feet, 7.7 wide, 21.5 long. That's pretty cool. I like having that kind of stuff. But you know, just I always look and make sure everything fits on and it's happy. Okay, let's step around this side and take a look down the edge. There's plenty of room, no problem there. No problem there. Now he was suspended in air. He didn't have to put his legs down for the wrecker, you know, for stability, and he could move slightly and slowly. But I called it good because I had to blindside back around the telephone pole and go underneath the load. They didn't just walk over and put it on me. I had to get underneath it. So it was one of those fun ones. It's just solid. It's not going anywhere. It's kind of a different chain grab, but I had to be inventive. And you know, I thought I was going to get unloaded today, but with the delay, you know, waiting on the equipment to load me, that's all right. It's no problem. I have no problem at all with that, because I just didn't want to get in a hurry. I'm not going to get in a hurry when somebody's messing around hanging one of these things down on my trailer. I'm not going to get in a hurry driving. None of it. Brake shoes are touching, so we know that's locked in. And you see that, and that's great because that helps. You know that sucker is solid. When they got that brake set, that's it. You can see how solid that is. It's good to go. Anyways, well, I couldn't do any hooking to here because when I was asking them what was up with this piece right here, they said this is just a rubber mount with just these single bolts, you know. And I thought, well, you can't do anything with that. So at first I looked at it, I thought it was a solid. It was kind of in the shade, and I couldn't tell what they were until I put my hands on them. So you have to kind of get your hands in there and feel stuff around and see what's going on. You know, because if that was just like a solid piece of steel or something, you know, no problem. Then you could probably go like underneath here on the other side and bring your chain down here. But it wasn't going to work. That's all rubber. It's like, you know, that ain't going to work. Lots of business. You get to see one of these rail cars up close. Now I'm going to take some still photos for the agent lady, and she's a former BCO, former driver at Landstar, and it's really nice to work with agents like that because I got taken care of. There was no issues. And I treat these folks like gold, and you know, they return the favor. So everything else is pretty good. It's kind of a quick video, but it's informative enough to where you know what you got to do. You got to go and look for things and see what's going on and make sure everything is good to go. And we shall be taking a look at some items up there on the light bar. I want to take a look at some of that stuff, see what's going on. But you would expect when they put this stuff together that everything would be good to go. And I checked everything, but you can't do their job for them too. So I'll be checking on some items that I see, and we'll check it and see and make sure it's good. But when you got the oil on the deck, see, it's splattered everywhere. Be advised, and you obviously going to know, when that piece gets taken off, you go walking up there, don't bust your ass. So I've had that happen. So that's about it. We'll see you on the road. Okay, we're back. That's what I saw was the problem. That yellow strobe was hanging. You know, the wires were just, you know, it was just leaned over. There wasn't a bolt one in there. It's a 3-hole. Not a single bolt there, no bolts anywhere. Laying like they didn't put any on at all. So I looked at the deck. So they may have just had some cheapos and they just fell out. I don't know. Okay, there's a bolt right there. Yep, I see it. So they probably had one, and it did fall out. So I'll give them credit for having one in there, And I'm not going to crawl up in that oil and get it. I'll just get me a tool and grab it and see if I can bring it back to me, and I'll put it in the truck. But I had an extra, so. And it had a Nylox nut on it. So at least it'll hold it. And that's what I saw. I went, now wait a minute. That don't work. So at least it was there. It kind of fell back against that beam there, and it was holding it up, so everything was okay. Who knows? Some of them are magnet based, some are just bolt down, so who knows? Well, that's it. At least I fixed that. The customer will get their stuff, and it's all in good shape. And I'll report it to the agent, and then they can mention it to quality control at the shipper, so they can double check, make sure there's at least 3 bolts in there, and then they've got Nylox nuts or, you know, the Star washers or something that gives a good lockdown. That's it. I'm going to quit jawing.